Welcome into the 49ers Report live here on Chat Sports. We're getting ready for a divisional matchup against the Dallas Cowboys. We're going to preview that game on today's show, get to all of the latest happenings around San Francisco, and take your questions. No matter where you are or how you're tuned in, greatly appreciate all of you for making the 49ers Report a part of your day and your coverage a part of this playoff run that we hope ends with a 6th Lombardi trophy in Glendale, Arizona. And if you hate the next opponent in the Dallas Cowboys, let's get it going in the chat right now. More than 100 people watching live. More people going to get that notification. They're piling in as well. F Dallas. F Dallas. F Dallas. These are two iconic brands in the history of sports that have a great history against one another, both in the regular season, in the postseason, and between these two great fan bases. So type F Dallas in the chat. Mike Concho, Maximo, Corey, Harley, Niner Raul, the dreaded one, Wet Noodle, Stephanie, John Glass, Easy 9, CDR, James Jensen, Michael Garcia, Miguel. This is the type of energy that I'm talking about here on the San Francisco 49ers Report. It's Cowboys week. I hate them Cowboys. And because of that, we're going to be beating some Cowboys all throughout the day. F them Cowboys, you already know. So continue to type F Dallas in the chat. I see Jacob Q. He took it to another level, and he actually spelled out the F word. You can do that. Some might see it. Some might not. I like it because I don't like the Cowboys. Today's live show is presented by Rocket Money. We do have Tom Downey here, host of the Cowboys Report. $50 super chat. We will slap him with a tortilla, by the way. You heard that right. Yes, we will slap him with the tortilla if you send in a $50 super chat. But as I was saying, today's show is presented by Rocket Money. From tortillas and slapping to our sponsor and you saving money. Are you wasting money on subscriptions? Well, 80% of people have subscriptions they forget about. And maybe for you, it's an unused Amazon Prime account, Hulu account that never gets streamed. There's this great app I use. It helps me track all of my expenses, and because of it, I no longer waste money on subscriptions I don't even use. You may have heard of it, Rocket Money, formerly known as Truebill. This app shows you all of your subscriptions in one place and then cancels for you whatever you don't still want. Rocket Money can even find subscriptions you didn't know you were paying for, and you may even find out you've been double charged for a subscription, and to cancel it, all you have to do, load up the app, hit the cancel button. It's as simple as that. Rocket Money takes care of the rest. So get rid of those useless subscriptions with Rocket Money now. Head to rocketmoney.com/Niners. Seriously, it could save you hundreds of dollars per year. It's rocketmoney.com/Niners. Now, with this game coming up on Sunday from Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, I'm picking the Niners to win. 30-26 is going to be my final. Who are you going with? Type DAL for the Cowboys, SF for the San Francisco 49ers. And speaking of Tom Downey, the host of the Cowboys Report, his watch party popped off last night. Here he is.
Woo! We won a playoff game!
Here he is. Rematch from last year.
Yeah, hopefully better results.
More subscribers, more views last night than our watch party last
say.
week. Hopefully we get the dub, though.
He sucks, though.
He stinks.
He's so
He sucks. Tony Pollard's better,
way better.
as we're about to talk about in our preview. So, $50, we'll slap Tom, host of the Cowboys Report. I want to take out my anger on Tom Downey. So who you got? Cowboys, Niners. Yes, we're making the work environment so toxic all throughout the week, and I'm about to bring out the savage on Tommy. Our poll question, do the Cowboys worry you? Yes, complete team, 22%. No, Niners are legit, 78%. So a lot of you not really worried by Dallas. I'll explain my thoughts on this coming up here in just a few moments. Maximo slapped that fool, big worm. Niners win it, 41-32. Harold Murillo, San Francisco. Burnt Reynolds said teabag him. I'm personally good. You can if you want, though. Mike Concho, SF. 49ers are good. Mark Ortiz going San Francisco. Gaming with Nate. Niners as well. Jesus Perez like San Francisco. Now, throughout this week, we've been talking about a lot of this Brock Purdy slander. There's been a lot of criticism of Brock Purdy for some reason. Some people have said that he's regressed since he started games for San Francisco. They've said that he's overrated, that he ain't all that good. So I want to hear from the faithful. What do you think of Brock Purdy's first 6 starts? Let me know. Danny D, A. Mike Concho, A. Ryan Rodriguez, A. 49ers are good. San Francisco wins 30-0. I think it's going to be closer than that. The team is based in Frisco. Yeah, but the 49ers are based in Santa Clara, so we don't really have an argument there.
Actually, they play in Arlington.
But their practice facility is in Frisco.
Yes.
Yes. So they're all over Dallas.
And their original stadium was in Irving.
Yes.
Not even Dallas.
No. EC with the A. 49ers are good. A. 49ers boom from Tim Diaz. Jacob Q going with that A. Julian Rost, what up? B plus, A plus 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 from Words of Wisdom. Mutt Flatulence to Bifu. Fraud boys? Yes, they are. Mike Concho said, what up, Trizzy? SIC 12052 going with that A. Mutt A. TFL Slayer just typing up those dubs for those dubs. Now, this is why I don't understand the Brock Purdy criticism and the Brock Purdy slander. Brock Purdy, since becoming the starter, has literally been one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL if you just want to go by statistics, right? 12 touchdowns, number 1 among all quarterbacks. He's 3rd in passing yards among all QBs with more than 1,200. Yards per attempt at 9.4, he's 2nd. And quarterback rating, he's number 1. So how are you going to tell me after looking at these numbers that Purdy isn't good, that he's lucky, that he's overrated, and he's regressed? Some of these media types I just don't understand. They tweet things out just to get engagement. I don't do that. I keep it a buck no matter what. Now, we are going to be talking Niners on today's show, as we always do. So for you to get involved, couple of ways for you to get featured on the program. Hashtag 49ers. Better yet, Super Chat to get featured on the San Francisco 49ers Report. And here is our Super Chat menu. $5 Super Chat. Yeah, beat those Cowboys so hard that their cowboy hats fall off. $10 San Francisco chant. $20 we'll bring out BCB. And for a $50 Super Chat, you saw Tom Downey earlier, we're going to slap a damn Cowboys fan. That's our Super Chat menu on today's show. I'm ready to take out my energy on all things Dallas Cowboys because I hate this organization. And if you're ready to start the show, I want you to hit that thumbs up icon. I want you to like the video. 211 people watching live, 45 likes right now. What we're about to do is preview this game coming up against the Dallas Cowboys on Sunday in the divisional round. And if you're ready to talk all things Niners, hit that thumbs up icon, like the video. And if you have questions that you want to get in right now, get them in right now. Because after our preview, which will go about 20 minutes or so, we'll start to take some of your questions live on the San Francisco 49ers Report. Without further ado, San Francisco. Let's preview this game coming up on Sunday. All right, the stage is set for the NFC Divisional round as the San Francisco 49ers will play host to the Dallas Cowboys on Sunday at Levi Stadium. And coming up on today's show, the best preview that you'll find on the entire internet. But first, if you think San Francisco will take down the Dallas Cowboys in this matchup between two of the blue bloods in the National Football League, hit that thumbs up icon, like the video, and sit back and enjoy our preview. This is the San Francisco 49ers Report by Chat Sports. Chase Sr. here with you. Hope all of you out there are having a great start to your week. We have an awesome show lined up for you today as we preview this game between San Francisco and Dallas. Heading into Sunday's game at Levi Stadium between the 2-seeded San Francisco 49ers and the 5th seed Dallas Cowboys. Niners 3.5-point favorites with the over-under set at 46. And I'll tell you right now, this is going to be a great matchup against a Cowboys team that might be the most complete team that the Niners have faced all throughout this year. Cowboys finished the regular season at 12-5, and they absolutely dominated Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the wild card round in Tampa on Monday night. Cowboys scoring offense ranked number 4 in the NFL as they averaged 27.5 points per game in 2022. And their defense also very good, not quite as well-rounded as San Francisco, but one of the elite defenses in this league as they surrendered a tick over 20 points per game. For San Francisco, ever since Brock Purdy took over as the team's starting quarterback 6 games ago, they've averaged more than 30 points per game. Throughout the regular season, it was almost there. there, 26.5, and the number one scoring defense in the NFL, led by defensive coordinator D'Amico Ryans, and a defense that is deep with a bunch of premier players as they gave up a tick over 16 points per game. Kickoff set for 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. It's going to be broadcasting on Fox, but of course, we'll be doing a watch party for it right here on the Niners Report, the best spot to experience game day outside of actually being at the game, so make sure you subscribe and join us. We are at this point because the Cowboys beat the Buccaneers 31-14, and this is a game in which I thought Tampa Bay had a shot. Cowboys were 0-7 against Tom Brady in Tom Brady's career, but this is a Buccaneers team that just isn't good, and this is a Cowboys squad that's been pretty consistent all throughout the season, and the same can't be said for Tampa Bay. We saw how the 49ers dump trucked the Buccaneers at Levi Stadium back several weeks ago, and this is really what it comes down to. The Buccaneers struggled to find their footing all year, whereas the Cowboys were a very consistent bunch, and that's what was displayed on Monday night at Raymond James Stadium. I thought the Cowboys' offensive line was really good. They picked up a lot of blitz protections when Tampa Bay tried to send pressure toward Dak. Tampa Bay's back end in the secondary got gashed all throughout the day, and Dak Prescott, after it looked as though the nerves were affecting him early, he played a tremendous football game. 25 of 33, 305 yards, 5 total touchdowns. There was a string in which this Cowboys offense could not be stopped as they generated 4 consecutive touchdown drives, and the Buccaneers simply can't run the football. That's why Tom Brady, at age 45, had to drop back and chuck it 66 times, and that Buccaneers offense just was stagnant all throughout the day. We're only getting started on our preview, but first, today's poll question. Get those predictions in. Who you got on Sunday in the NFC Divisional round for the right to go to the NFC Championship game? DAL for the Cowboys, SF for the San Francisco 49ers. Let us know right now in the comment section. This is a rematch of the wild card round matchup in a game that was wild, insane, a roller coaster last year at Jerry World AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas, in which the 49ers won on the road, which then put them in a spot to take on the Green Bay Packers in the divisional round last year. Final score of 23-17. Jimmy Garoppolo wasn't good throughout that football game. 16-25, 172 yards, but the Niners' ground game was very good, led by Elijah Mitchell, who had that early touchdown. He carried the rock 27 times for 96 yards. Deebo Samuel had that touchdown as well to get the Niners out to that early lead. Brandon Ayuk was very good as he put Trevon Diggs in turnstiles all throughout the day. And the 49ers defense, even when Nick Bosa went out that concussion, able to generate a pass rush, they were really good against the run. Dalton Schultz did have a big day, 7 catches for 89 yards. And as we saw last night against the Buccaneers, Dak Prescott and Dalton Schultz have a very good connection going. The rematch refresher for that game from last year in the wild card round, the Niners had jumped out to a 13-0 lead. In case you forgot, the Cowboys clawed back a couple of times. In the early going, they came back to make it 16-7. Deebo Samuel's touchdown run from nearly 30 yards made it 23-7 in the third quarter. Then Dak ran for a touchdown to make it 23-17 mid-fourth quarter. Then the game ended in a very wild way. The infamous quarterback draw when the Cowboys had no timeouts left. Dallas tried to spike the football, but then the clock expired. Game was over, and the 49ers were victorious to move on and advance. San Francisco in that ball game ran it 38 times for 169 yards, which could be a key in the 2023 matchup. The 49ers had 5 sacks of Dak Prescott, even though Nick Bosa went out early with that concussion. And between these two iconic brands, two of the largest fan bases in the sport of football, it was the most watched wild card game in 7 years as it garnered 41.5 million viewers throughout the day. And a couple of great images that we certainly want to revisit as this rematch is set to take place on Sunday. A couple of Cowboys fans giving Trent Williams the double birds as he was exiting the field. He pointed and laughed. And for Kyle Shanahan, a guy who is usually measured, this is about as pumped up as you will ever see Kyle Shanahan after a victory. There were a lot of emotions in this game. The intensity level was very, very high, and Kyle Shanahan let that be known. This was, at the moment, one of the biggest playoff wins of his young career as an underdog going on the road to take down the choking Cowboys, and he was really pumped up after the football game. We'll get to this year's matchup coming up here in just a second, but first, make sure you subscribe for daily Niners analysis. Let's get to 76,000 subs by the time that this game comes around on Sunday. Lock us in for the best Niners content right here on YouTube. As for what we're going to watch for, some of my keys to the game heading into this matchup between Dallas and San Francisco, the 49ers are the most physical team left in the NFL playoffs and the most physical team in the National Football League. They have the edge there because the Cowboys enter with 2 days less rest because they played in this rare Monday Night Football game on ESPN. This is a Dallas defense that is very good, as evidenced by the earlier numbers that we showed you. They're fast. They can swarm, but this is also a Dallas team that isn't as good and isn't as fast on grass as compared to turf. Watch out for that on Sunday. For Brock Purdy, continue to play clean football. He's been able to do that for the most part, only throwing 3 interceptions as a starter so far in his last 6 games, all 6 starts. He's thrown for 16 touchdowns. Brock Purdy, the rookie, has to continue to play clean football. For the 49ers and for Dallas, avoid the back-breaking turnovers. I think this is going to be a game that is going to be closely contested. It could turn, it could flip, it could change with a turnover. The 49ers played a clean brand of football against Seattle, and that's why they were able to pull away, scoring 25 unanswered points during a portion of that second half. Look for San Francisco to really have a point of emphasis of keeping the pill off the carpet. For this 49ers defense, pressure Dak Prescott. Generate a consistent pass rush, because when you do that, you can force Dak Prescott into making mistakes. I also want to see DeMeco Ryans have multiple looks against Dak Prescott to try to confuse him. Dak only played in 12 games this year because of that thumb injury that he suffered in Week 1 in a loss to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But despite only playing 12 games, he threw a league-high 15 interceptions. For this 49ers defense also, you have to stop the run. There's no doubt that Dallas is going to look to run it, to set up the play action, to set up the pass game. Some of those easy reads for Dak Prescott, you stop the run, you generate a pass rush. That's how this Niners team and defense can be successful against Dallas. We already asked you to predict who wins. Now let's get a little bit more precise. Predict the score down in the comment section. Let us know right now. We love hearing from the faithful down in the comment section. Now, today's 49ers Cowboys preview is sponsored by Geology. 70% off of their custom skin and hair care routines. And Geology, a 16-time award-winning skin, hair, and body care company that's been recognized in places like Men's Health, GQ, and Esquire. They create simple and effective skincare and hair care routines customized just for you with ingredients that are proven to work. And right now, limited time only, as I said, they're hooking you up with an absolutely insane offer. Use our code CHATSPORTS70 at chatsports.com/geology, or use the QR code that we're going to show you here in momentarily, and they will give you that exclusive 70% off deal off their award-winning skincare trial set. Skincare shouldn't feel like a gamble, and Geology is the best in the skincare game. Geology puts an end to dark or puffy under eyes that I've been battling for a little while, helps you fight acne, reduce oiliness, prevents wrinkles, and gives you smoother, hydrated skin. I just turned 31. Some people say I look 25. I've been using Geology's face wash in the mornings, their dark and puffy under eye cream, and their retinol night cream before going to bed, and my skin is looking, Most importantly, also feeling great. And in the shower, their body washes are great. So one more time, head to chatsports.com/geology. Scan that QR code on your screen here. Use our code CHATSPORTS70. That link is in the comment section and in the description of this video. And on top of 70% off, you'll receive an exclusive bonus offer of one of their brand new skin, hair, and body products of your choice when you add it to your trial. One of the best offers that you will see. Get it right now before it's gone. With this Dallas Cowboys team, there's no question that I watched every single minute of this football game that this team is legit. They are well-rounded, and they are a complete football team. And their win over Tampa Bay was very impressive. But it's also clear at the same point that the Buccaneers are just a bad football team. The 49ers took advantage of a bad Bucs team, and that's why they blew them out. The Dallas Cowboys did the same. I do think the Niners are the better team as compared to Dallas. And I like the edge that San Francisco has in the physicality department. That is a recipe for the Niners that I think bodes well against the Cowboys style. Mentally and physically, this is a Cowboys team that can be susceptible to struggling against physical teams that have a downhill style that will punch you right in the chin and not back down. That is the 49ers' identity as the most physical team in the National Football League. And the formula for success for San Francisco, you stop the run, then you force Dak to throw by changing up your coverages, confusing him a little bit, and in turn, you can bait him into turnovers as he has a league worst 15 interceptions this year. As for what Dak Prescott did in the regular season, yes, he was great against Tampa Bay, but he struggled in the regular season, and he is somewhat overrated in my eyes. 8-4 record. He completed 66% of his passes, pretty good in those 12 games. He threw for nearly 2,900 yards, 23 touchdowns, though, the 15 picks, yards per attempt at 7.3. Dak Prescott going to lead this Cowboys offense against a 49ers team that in the regular season allowed a league best 16 points per game, a league best 300 yards per game, league best points per play at .27. Yards per play, San Francisco ranked 4th. Third down conversion rate, Niners ranked 16th. The Cowboys are very good on third down, so that's a key element of this game. Make sure you remember that heading into Sunday. Red zone scoring percentage for the Niners, 20th. And the Cowboys, as they've kind of gone on a tear the back half of the season, they've capitalized in the red zone. They did it against Tampa Bay. Opposing touchdowns per game, though, for the 49ers. 3rd in the NFL. Yards per rush, 2nd. Yards per game on the ground, 49ers ranking 2nd. So that's why I said it's key to stop the ground game, because Dak Prescott, if you force him to throw a little bit too much, he is prone to turning the football over. And I know that the Cowboys are going to look to run the football. They understand that Dak Prescott's thumb might not be 100%. They understand that the ground game can set up the pass game. And if the 49ers stop that ground rush, and they're able to stack the box to force Dak Prescott to beat you, San Francisco can come up with one of those key turnovers. Now, I do think that the Cowboys' best running back is not Ezekiel Elliott. It is Tony Pollard. He looks fresher. He looks spunkier. He looks more spry. He's quick. He's more elusive. And he's just faster. 193 carries for him this year. 1,000 rushing yards when he had less carries as compared to Zeke's 231. Zeke only ran for 876 yards. You see the average yards per tote at 5.2 for Pollard, 3.8 for Ezekiel Elliott. Zeke is a very good short yardage back and very good around the goal line. That's why he has 12 touchdowns to Pollard's 9, and Pollard able to outgame him in yards per game. For the Cowboys receiving corps, they do have Michael Gallup, but because he came off that torn ACL, he missed a lot of the regular season. CeeDee Lamb is a really good player, eclipsed the century mark, had his best year as a wide receiver in the National Football League, compiled nearly 1,400 yards through the air with 9 touchdowns that led the Cowboys. Dalton Schultz is a very good and underrated tight end who went off against the Bucs. This 49ers linebacking core going to have their hands full with him, but I have confidence that Fred Warner, Azeez Al-Shaair, and Dre Greenlaw can get it done. And then Noah Brown, kind of a wide receiver, tight end, a little hybrid, 43 catches, 555 yards for him, and 3 touchdowns. Niners can have him on lockdown as well. Speaking of lockdown, if you go back to last year's wild card round, the 49ers had the clamps on CeeDee Lamb. He wasn't able to do anything in that playoff game. A big reason for that, Emmanuel Mosley. Charvarius Ward has to play better than what he did last week against Seattle, and Deommodore Lenoir has to play like he did against the Seahawks, against this Cowboys receiving corps. Another X factor in this game, and what this game could come down to, field goals, special teams, field position, which is determined by some returns via the special teams unit. Contain Kavontae Turpin, really good player who can flip the field in a blink because of his elite speed. Also, field goal kickers and extra points going to be very important. We know that Robbie Gould has been good as gold in his postseason career. A perfect 25 of 25 in the postseason, and Brett Maher missing extra point after extra point, a record for the most missed extra points against the Bucs in that wild card round. Is he going to be shaken mentally? Hopefully. Levi Stadium, fans in attendance, make some noise to make Brett Maher choke as well. So those are some of my keys to the victory. What are your keys to a Niners victory come Sunday? Sound off with what you think down below. Now, with the 49ers and the Cowboys, the 49ers right now are the hottest team in football. They've won 11 games in a row. Their confidence is at an all-time high. With Dallas, their confidence also at an all-time high because they finally got over that mental hurdle of beating Tom Brady for the first time in 8 tries. But also, they won a big playoff game and won their first road playoff game since actually beating the Niners on the road when Steve Young was the quarterback for San Francisco. Do the Cowboys want that smoke? Niners are the most physical team in football, and are the Cowboys going to be able to stack up in the physicality department? And has Dallas gotten over the choke artist label? They haven't made it to an NFC title game going all the way back to 1996. They got past the wild card hurdle. They got past the road win hurdle. Can they get past the divisional round hurdle? An underrated point in this game, something as small as tackling efficiency could also decide who wins and who loses. And for this 49ers team, they are the Yak Kings, and these are the Yak Bros. Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle, Deebo Samuel, so difficult to bring down after the catch and in the open field, and the Cowboys have been susceptible to being a bad tackling unit. Ayuk career year, more than 1,000 yards. George Kittle turned it on and turned up the last half of the season, 11 touchdowns after the midway point. And for Deebo Samuel, a down year for him statistically, but did you see that 70-plus yard touchdown from Brock Purdy against the Seahawks? He's back, he turned on the afterburners, and he is a menace to bring down in the open field. 49ers also going to look to run the football in this matchup because that's part of the backbone of this offense. But I have to say, with Brock Purdy as the team's starting quarterback, they've turned into more of a passing team. But this could be the best backfield in football with the way that McCaffrey has played and the way Elijah Mitchell has played. He's made his return since coming off those knee injuries, and Elijah Mitchell has been very good in those 2 games since returning. For Brock Purdy in this game against the Dallas Cowboys can't afford to have the early game nerves that he had against the Seattle Seahawks. And I think that it's actually good that Purdy struggled early against Seattle. He understands now what it's like to play in a pressure cooker, what it's like to play in a playoff game, and the intensity that comes with it. But because these two teams are very closely contested and very evenly matched, and because the Cowboys are the deepest and most well-rounded team that I think the Niners have played this year, Brock Purdy can't afford to be shaky early against Dallas like he was against Seattle, because if you fall down early, that could be the deciding point of this football game, and you can't leave big plays on the field against Dallas because that could be one of the turning points in this game, because I expect it to be close. Brock Purdy, since becoming the starter 6 games ago, among all quarterbacks in the NFL, 12 touchdowns. That ranks number 1. Passing yards, that ranks number 3. Yards per attempt, 9.4. That's second among all QBs. And his quarterback rating, 119.4. That ranks number 1. I saw some dude who covers football say that Brock Purdy has regressed since becoming the starter. These numbers are not a regression point. That dude is a fraud. The coaching edge. Kyle Shanahan, I think, has the coaching edge over Mike McCarthy. I understand that Kyle Shanahan has given up a couple of big leads throughout his playoff career, Mike McCarthy does have a Super Bowl. Kyle Shanahan does not. But Mike McCarthy, awful game management. Kyle Shanahan, a little bit spotty in that department. Game management, going to be crucial for both of these guys on the headset on both of these sidelines. As for the 49ers injury report, they're the healthiest that they've been all year. Juwan Jennings, Samson Ebukam, both day to day, both expected to play against Dallas on Sunday. And also, let's round out with this. This is a matchup between two of the most iconic brands in all of sports, especially in the National Football League. That's why anytime these two teams play, the television ratings are insane. They also have a deep, very intense, and very back-and-forth playoff history with a couple of legendary matchups. The Cowboys do have the edge in the playoff history. 1971, they beat the Niners in the NFC Championship game 17-10. In 72, beat them again in the NFC Championship game back-to-back seasons by taking down the 49ers 14-3. They made it 3 straight in the divisional round December later that year by a final score of 30-28. Then the Niners finally got over the hump in 1982 by a final score of 28-27. It took some heroics, the catch, Joe Montana to Dwight Clark to give the Niners that dramatic victory. In 1993, Cowboys returned the favor. They beat the Niners in the NFC Championship game 30-20. In 1994, Cowboys won again in the NFC Championship game. Then in 1995, Niners got their revenge by a final score of 38-28, and they did it again last year in the NFC wild card round by a final score of 23-17. So with that, let's revisit your prediction point. Who you got? Dallas Cowboys, San Francisco 49ers. We want to hear from the faithful. As for my prediction, San Francisco takes it by a final score of 30-26. They are able to cover that 3.5-point line. 49ers once again score 30 or more points, which is what they've done since Brock Purdy has become the team's starting quarterback. And throughout their 11-game winning streak, they're averaging more than 30 points per game. I think they do it once again. I think this game is close. I think it comes down to the wire. Niners take it. Final score, 30-26. What do you think about this game? Make sure you hit me up on Twitter and Instagram at Chase_Senior. Interested to hear your thoughts. We'll be going live later here on the Niners Report, so make sure you subscribe, turn on your notifications, and join us live on the 49ers Report. All right, so that right there, our Cowboys-Niners preview for this divisional round matchup coming up on Sunday. Bye-bye, Darlene. Everybody type it into the chat right now. Darlene said, all this boy does is a whole lot of talking. Well, the 49ers Report, believe it or not, is a 49ers talk show. So yes, we talk about the San Francisco 49ers on a daily basis. And speaking of talking about the Niners, this is what Darlene wants us to do. Some news on San Francisco coming from Diana Rossini of ESPN. San Francisco losing a very valuable member of their front office in Ran Carthen. With San Francisco, came over in 2017 with Kyle Shanahan, John Lynch, and Adam Peters. He was the Niners' director of player personnel, and he is going to go to Tennessee to be the team's general manager. In the process here, San Francisco will now get 2 third-round comp picks back. So a comp pick this upcoming draft in 2023, as well as in 2024, some more draft compensation because San Francisco continues to develop general managers as well as head coaches in the NFL. This right here, the Niners, one of the go-to preeminent organizations in this sport. $5 Super Chat did come in during that segment from Jared Thomas. Go Niners, baby. Take it all the way. You can do it. Big Cock Brock, Niners, best team in the NFL right now. When you win 11 games in a row, you are the best team in the NFL, and they're certainly playing like it right now. Another Super Chat coming in from our guy, G-Code. G-Code is back. This is a good one here. Throwing it back. Which current Niners linebacker reminds you of Bill Romanowski? I'd have to go Dre Greenlaw. Fred Warner is a really flashy linebacker who's really fast and can range sideline to sideline, get up and down the field. Of course, he's very physical, but in terms of bringing the boom That's more like Dre Greenlaw. Now, the closest really to Bill Romanowski would probably be a guy like Patrick Willis or Navarro Bowman, and then Dre Greenlaw coming in third place. But good to throw it back there, G-Code. We'll also answer some of those questions in our upcoming mailbags. The Passmaster, $2 super chat. He's all over our chat sports content. Defense wins championships. Respect, real one, enough said. And if the 49ers defense can force a couple of Dak Prescott interceptions or a couple of Dallas Cowboys turnovers, Niners going to be victorious in this football game. Here's our super chat menu. We had that 5 come in from Jeff, so you know what that means. Beat those Cowboys. $10 will give you a San Francisco. We have Brock Purdy here going gangster mode with the hood up. And for a $50 super chat, we'll bring in Tom Downey, host of the Cowboys Report. I'll literally slap Tom Downey, the host of the Cowboys Report. We get to slap a Cowboys fan for $50. He kind of likes it. Let's talk Niners here. Couple ways for you to get involved. Hashtag 49ers, better yet, super chat to get featured on the show. Speaking of Tom, by the way, his watch party last night, the most viewed watch party in the history of chat sports. It did like 230,000 views for Cowboys Buccaneers last night. Really, really impressive. Great job to him. But we're trying to take over that number this upcoming weekend against Dallas. So make sure you tell your friends we'll be live on the 49ers Report. That is why you subscribe and join us. Another super chat coming in from Deebo's son. Deebo's son is a baby, but apparently can still send in a super chat. How do you feel about OBJ getting kicked off a plane? That happened like 2 months ago. I think he just fell asleep on the plane. That's what happened with Deebo Samuel. Or sorry, not Deebo. I'm looking at your name. OBJ, excuse me. Got kicked off a plane because he fell asleep. And I didn't really make a big deal out of it. He got escorted off the plane, and that was it. No criminal charges or anything. But OBJ kind of always finds himself to be in some controversy out there. We do want to talk Niners. Get those questions in. 2 mailbags to round out our live show after our Cowboys-Niners preview wrapped up. So to get involved, hashtag 49ers or super chat to get featured on the program. When you do send in a super chat, you skip ahead of everybody else who's in front of you, and we will answer your questions first. Then, of course, whatever is on that super chat menu, we will follow suit and follow the rules because we make the rules and we do not stray away from them because we're not fraudulent here on the Niners Report. So hashtag 49ers or super chat to get featured here live on the show. About 450 people watching live. John Wallace, he's back. Johnny. It's good hearing from him on call-in the other night. We'll get to that super chat from John Wallace, and then we'll hop into our mailbag. What up, Niner faithful in the Chat Sports family? Bang! Niner Nation. Appreciate that donation there, John. What was on the $10 super chat menu? I already forgot. San Francisco. John Wallace, you're the man. Everybody type J-Dub in the chat to show some love to an absolute real one. I see Mike Concho getting in that hashtag 49ers. The Passmaster is there as well. I support great content. You're the man. You are certainly the man. So, our mailbag about to kick off where we open up the floor and start answering all of your questions. A lot certainly to get to coming up here on the show. I'm sure a lot of you have a lot of questions about this football team, this matchup against Dallas. Rick Nyers! Rick! Let's go! I'll tell Tom to come in here. Let me send him a message there. Rick Nyers, $50 for slapping a Cowboys fan. Let me send a message here.
Rick, we've missed you, man.
I told Tom to get in here and bring the tortilla. We're slapping him with the tortilla.
Bring that pillow.
Rick with the 50, the X Factors from last year's meeting, CMC, Big Cock Brock, now slap that dude. Yeah, look, McCaffrey, Brock Purdy, not a member of this football team last year, and honestly, Brock Purdy has been better than Jimmy Garoppolo, who really struggled against Dallas last year in that wild card matchup. So I think this Niners team is better. They are now at home. They are hotter than they were last year. The better all-around football team. Dallas is certainly complete, but Dallas, I can make the argument, outside of Philadelphia, they haven't played a team like the 49ers all throughout this year either. So those right there, facts. Got to hold down NASA from Rick Nyers, my man. Mike Concho, John Wallace, the legend. That is correct. I think Tom's going to come in here. We'll give him about 1 minute. And then if not, we'll get him after the next segment. So we'll give him about 60 seconds to come in here. There he is. There he is. Now he's rocking the Cowboys jersey. Is that Sean Lee?
Sean Lee, baby.
Sean Lee. Rick Nyers, thank you. Let's go full screen here. Slapping the Cowboys fan. Here we go. That was pretty good. We'll keep it in case we get another one. Okay, all right, nice. Who had the first? Sam? Grade it. A, B, C, D, or F. That kind of rattled the studio a little bit. I told you I had to take my anger out on a Cowboys fan.
Are you trying to concuss him?
Yes.
Okay.
Rick Nyers said epic. Mike Concho, A+. Cheat code with the 5. We'll get to that in our mailbag. My goodness. Sorry, Tom, but he said he'd do it.
Christopher goes, that was better than the Will Smith slap.
That was pretty good. See, I almost think the tortilla slap is better than an open hand slap.
John Wallace wants to know, did you get your info, Chase?
Yes, I did, John. I did. I'll check after this, too. Wet Noodle 187, that was great. Okay, you came here for Niners content, and we slap Cowboys fans live on the show. And we get to answer your questions live on the program as well. So our mailbag coming up on the San Francisco 49ers report. What's the sponge on this piece? LinkedIn. All right, let's start answering your questions right now live on the San Francisco 49ers report. This is the 49ers Report. You're watching us right here on Chat Sports. I'm Chase Sr. Hope all the Niner gang had a great week, and you're gearing up for game day between the San Francisco 49ers and the Dallas Cowboys. The best non-divisional rivalry, in my opinion, in the sport of football. We're going to answer your questions and get to the latest Niners buzz, but first, it's all presented by LinkedIn Talent Solutions. Start 2023 off right by making quality hires and do it with LinkedIn Talent Solutions. You can post your job for free if you use our link down below. It's linkedin.com/NFL Daily. We'll tell you more about the benefits of going through them to hire quality candidates here in just a bit. We begin with a $50 donation from Rick Nyers, who I think makes some really good points here, saying the X factors from last year's meeting between Dallas and San Francisco were not on the team, and they're on the team this year. He's talking about Christian McCaffrey as well as Brock Purdy, a.k.a. BCB. Now, with Christian McCaffrey, best all-around back in the NFL, I don't want to hear an argument against that, especially with how he's played with the 49ers. And in games that he's started, San Francisco has won all of them. They are perfect 11-0, and his ability to run the football but also go out wide as a wide receiver is a unique and very special skill set for McCaffrey. And against the Seahawks, a couple of monster runs, and the last couple of weeks, everybody wants to look at McCaffrey as more of a finesse player. He's lowered the boom. He's truck-sticked a couple of guys. And for Brock Purdy, if you go back and rewatch that game against the Cowboys, which I did last night in the wild card round, Jimmy Garoppolo wasn't good. He missed a lot of throws, and the passing game for the Niners just wasn't as explosive as it's been with Brock Purdy. So I think that you get better at running back. You get better at quarterback with this year's team. You now return back to Levi Stadium instead of going on the road in a tough environment at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. This Niners defense is playing better. They're better coached, I believe, right now because another year of experience in big games for Kyle Shanahan as well as DeMeco Ryans. And I think this Niners team, deeper, more elite than the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys are probably the most complete team that the Niners have faced all throughout this year, but I'm very, very confident that the Niners can pull out a win on Sunday. John Wallace, $10 Super Chat. What up, Niner faithful, Chat Sports family? Bang, bang, Niner Nation. John, thanks for continuing to be a real one. G-Code, also a real one. $5 Super Chat. Charvarius Ward, teams are not scared of him. Seattle, Las Vegas, Kansas City, seems like they are attacking him. Is that why KC didn't re-sign him? Ward disappeared against Jamar Chase. So I actually think, yes, you're right with that last point. Charvarius Mooney Ward didn't play all that well against Jamar Chase in the AFC Championship game. Up until a few weeks ago, Mooney Ward had been playing really good football. What I like about him is that he doesn't really let getting beat affect his game. He still remains a very confident player. He's a very good tackler in space. I thought that Seattle did target him from time to time, and they certainly took advantage of him being lackluster in coverage. But if you look at the entire sample size of this year, Mooney Ward has been solid. But what the Niners have to do, which they didn't do against Seattle, is get a better pass rush. Nick Bosa had a clean sheet, so he didn't have any sacks. He did have that big fumble recovery, which really did change the game. But for Bosa, get after the quarterback for this defensive line. Get after Dak Prescott. He threw a league-high 15 interceptions this year, and if you do get pressure and you stop the run, Dak Prescott is prone to turning the football over. So that also makes the back-end's job a lot easier, but some concerns certainly for Mooney Ward. The Pass Master, $2 Super Chat. Defense wins championships. Enough said. And for this Niners defense, they've been one of the best defenses in recent memory. And I think they're the best defense in the NFL right now. They have struggled a little bit in giving up points, especially in the first half of games. I think a big reason why the Niners defense has struggled in terms of points per game the last few weeks is because this Niners offense has been so explosive. And some of these drives are so quick. For instance, you give it to Deebo Samuel, then he runs for 50-plus yards, and your defense doesn't get any rest. And because this Niners offense has been so explosive, and they're not really wasting a lot of time in terms of time of possession, this defense isn't getting a lot of time to rest, so they have been fatigued to a certain degree. But the adjustments that D'Amico Ryans made against Seattle after the first half, very, very good, and the players are certainly there to buck that trend. G-Code, another one, $2. Which current San Francisco linebacker reminds you of Bill Romanowski? So current, I'd have to say Dre Greenlaw just because of his physicality. Fred Warner is all-pro Fred for a reason. This guy flies around the football field and is so special in doing so and is a game changer, but isn't as physical probably as a guy like Dre Greenlaw. So current linebacker, Greenlaw. Past linebackers, probably a guy like Navarro Bowman or Patrick Willis. Always good to turn back the clock there with G-Code. Say it with me. John Wallace said it earlier, and now I want you to type it down below in the comment section. San Francisco cannot wait for this game coming up on Sunday. And as you go down there, make sure you subscribe. Here on the Niners Report, we've been able to surpass 75,000 subscribers because we give you daily content that's both informative, entertaining, and involves the faithful. So make sure you subscribe today. 16 Bar King, $5. Out the tunnel, turned up, bringing noise. Another message for the league. We them boys. And how about that saying, how about them Cowboys, starting with Jimmy Johnson back in the 90s. How about those Niners, though? And I want Kyle Shanahan to say that in the locker room if and when the 49ers take down Dallas. 16 Bar King, living up to the name, by the way. Great bars right there. Get an album together. Maybe we can even get a Niners theme song. We did it with Brock Purdy and the Rudolph song. That took off on social media. Thousands and thousands of views. Maybe we can partner up. John Wallace, $25 super chat. Thank you, J-Dub. How do we slow up the pass rush, and do you see any dancing feet by our young man Brock Purdy? Is there anything to help slow up Parsons, possibly using an extra tight end or lineman like the other team? So if Parsons is lined up against Trent Williams, I love that matchup. I think that you can have Trent Williams on an island out there at left tackle, and he can pretty much control Micah Parsons. But Parsons is a very unique and gifted athlete. So from time to time, you might have to chip him in the midsection with the running back. Maybe you put another tight end over there, George Kittle, also with some help on Parsons to chip him, and then go out for a reception. I think it's going to be important for Brock Purdy to be decisive with his reads as he's done in his first 6 starts. And I think that Kyle Shanahan delayed handoffs to allow the pass rush to get upfield, to open up some running lanes, maybe some jet sweeps to go sideline to sideline instead of up and down, maybe some bubble screens to alleviate that pass rush to a certain degree. But I also think a huge key in this game, getting the ball accurately to some of the Niners' playmakers in space. Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle, because the Cowboys can be a bad tackling team, and it's the Yak Bros for San Francisco. So good at picking up yards after the catch. That could be a big element in this game. So there you go, John Wallace. Thank you so much for that $25 super chat. Now, today's show is presented by LinkedIn Talent Solutions. I was hired March 1 of 2021. Trace, Abby, also recent hires. We've been able to grow our staff here at Chat Sports and hire quality candidates that are here for a while and who make an immediate impact to allow us to grow our company, all thanks to LinkedIn Talent Solutions. These days, every new potential hire can feel like a high-stakes wager for your small business. You want to be 100% certain that you have access to the best qualified candidates available. That's why you have to check out LinkedIn Jobs. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the right people for your team. Here's what's key: faster and for free. I was working as a local news reporter in Scranton, Pennsylvania for one of the most watched local news stations in the country. I saw an opening at Chat Sports. I wanted to come here. I was able to get hired quickly because of LinkedIn, and the process was so seamless. You can add your job and the purple hashtag hiring frame to your LinkedIn profile to spread the word that you're hiring. Simple tools like screening questions make it easy to focus on candidates with just the right skills and experience so you can quickly prioritize who you'd like to interview and hire. It's why small businesses rank LinkedIn Jobs #1 in delivering quality hires against leading competitors. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find qualified candidates that you want to talk to faster, and you can post your job for free at linkedin.com/NFL Daily. That is linkedin.com/NFL Daily to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. Now, we've heard from a lot of real ones on today's show. Now it's time to hear from another real one. Words of wisdom. Me and some red and gold assassins bombed the heck out of the Cowgirls channel yesterday. Vikings channel too. Mission accomplished. Speaking of frauds, how about the Minnesota Vikings? And hopefully we can put the Dallas Cowboys on that fraudulent list as well. They got over that mental hurdle of finally beating Tom Brady. Prior to Monday night, they were 0-7 against TB12. They won their first road game since the 90s when they beat the Niners at Candlestick. So they got past that mental hurdle, but they haven't made it to an NFC Championship game since 1996. Let's continue to make those Dallas Cowboys choke. Niner Raul, what's good, my brother? 34-20 final score. Are you saying that you think that the Cowboys are going to win 34-20 or the Niners are going to win 34-20? With the way I read that, you're going Niners 34-20, right? And it's Niner Raul, another real one here on the show. Niner Raul 34-20. We'll take that any day of the week. He predicted his score. You predict your score. I'm going 30-26 San Francisco. Let me know who you got down below in the comment section. And if you want to interact with me, talk about this football game, I'm on Twitter and Instagram at Chase_Senior. I can't lie, Twitter game's been popping off of late, all thanks to the faithful showing some love. I appreciate it. Look forward to hearing from you. All right, $105 in Super Chats. Let's get it. Yeah, we do have some things to do. We slapped the Cowboy fan for the $50 Super Chat. $25. We'll go BCB. Can Brock Purdy do it again against the Dallas Cowboys? 10, San Francisco. We'll beat up the Cowboy here. We'll beat up the Cowboy. F Dallas. F Dallas. Thanks for all those Super Chats that came in. If you want to send in a donation, that right there was our Super Chat menu. $50. I don't know if y'all saw it. You can go back and rewind it. I slapped the shit out of Cowboys Report host Tom Downey. I'm down to do it again. C Generic with another donation. It's at the Cowboy once again. Nearly 500 people watching live. If you're coming across the show for the first time, make sure you subscribe. We give you daily videos and content on the Niners. John Wallace with another 5. Let's go. We can just get to those Super Chats. I'll just read them for the first time in our upcoming mailbag there. But I'll make do on the Super Chat menu items there as we're up to $115 in Super Chats. C Generic. 34-19 Niners dub with Maher missing 2 PATs. Brock rushing tutty. Can you imagine if Brett Maher misses more extra points, my goodness. It got so bad, it looked as though he got the real-time yips on Monday Night Football. And then one of his last ones, his mechanics were just awful. It's crazy. John Wallace, 5, 34-23, Niners family. We're going to overwhelm their offense. Watch us faithful. Now, it's funny because a lot of people have said there's no Niner Nation. I'm not going to say that there's no Niner Nation, but I guess a lot of people like Niner Empire as compared to Niner Nation. I don't know. Something to think about moving forward. Kelly A. 49ers for the win. Global vision. Let's be honest, Niner fans. The great, every time Niner fans worried from them boys. Did you see the video of a Cowboys fan somehow FaceTiming Deebo Samuel while at the game last night in Tampa? Deebo was like, just wait. Just wait. I'll run for another touchdown like I did last year. You remember that in the wild card matchup. All right, another mailbag coming up. We'll start that officially here in just a second. Fitness, Quest for 6. Jim Everett, Warden Hufanga. Well, Hufanga was named an All-Pro. He's been susceptible in coverage, so you might have a point there. Jimmy Ward, kind of beat. Got beat a couple of times last week. No. So another mailbag coming up to round out our show. $50 we're slapping a Cowboys fan again with the tortilla. And maybe I can even do a better slap than I did last time, which y'all gave me an A for. Mike Concho, is that Chrissy Everett? That's funny. Is that the former tennis player, Chris Everett? Could be wrong there. Didn't want Micah Parsons. Oh, what are you saying, Shua? What did Micah Parsons say about the Niners? He said, y'all sent us home early last year. I'm ready to get back after it this year. Yeah. All right. Let's answer more questions live on the show. 475 people watching live, though. 25 likes away from 200. Hit that thumbs up icon. Like the video. Let's get to it. Mailbag coming up. What's good? Welcome in. You're watching the 49ers Report right here on Chat Sports. Chase Sr. here with you. Really excited to dive into today's show where we open up the floor and start answering all of your questions as well as your super chats in the lead up to Sunday's matchup between the Dallas Cowboys and the San Francisco 49ers. We begin with this one from the dreaded one. Dak won't have all that time to throw against us. And look, let's be real about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The only reason why people thought the Buccaneers were going to beat the Cowboys is because of the Cowboys' lack of playoff success and them choking in a bunch of big moments, the fact that Tom Brady had gone 7-0 against Dallas throughout his career, and because of the Tom Brady effect. But at the end of the day, this is what it does come down to for Tampa Bay. They're a terrible team. And what Dallas did was slice and dice a bad unit that has been porous really all throughout the season. And they shouldn't have even been in the playoffs. They're the byproduct of winning an awful division in the NFC South. And the 49ers defensive line and their defense is so much better than Dallas's defense. And I'll tell you what, the dreaded one, you get a pass rush on Dak Prescott, things will be a little bit different. John Wallace, Jim, it's okay. We took you at home. We'll take you here at our house. And that's really the motto for the Niners. You won on the road last year against the Cowboys in the wild card round. And now, San Francisco, in my eyes, the better, more complete team that has a better offense and better defense than they did last year. And this Cowboys team, they had a great year. Got to give credit where credit is due. But they're not as good as San Francisco, and that's why I like the Niners to win this game, and that's why, frankly, they should win this game. Mike Honcho, why do the Cowboys suck so bad? Look, I mean, they did win, 12, 13 games this year. They won 12 last year. They are a solid team. They're probably the most well-rounded team that the Niners have played this year, especially during this 11-game winning streak. I mean, the Kansas City Chiefs are also pretty good, but I think that Dallas' defense might be a little bit better than KC's, so I might give the slight edge to Dallas in terms of being an all-around team. They might not be better because Patrick Mahomes is with KC, and I'll take him over Dak Prescott, and I'll take the Chiefs in a head-to-head. But all-around team, they do pose a couple of issues. But in the playoffs, outside of Monday Night Football, they've come up short in a lot of monster moments. Justin Abilera, We need to straighten up in the secondary. Hopefully we get our act together. If the Niners are better in the secondary, combined with getting more pressure on Dak Prescott and generating more of a pass rush, then this defense can win this game. Because I have confidence in this Niners offense, even though Dallas's defense is pretty solid, to turn up, and show out. But Justin, you're right. Last month or so, the secondary for the Niners, it's been a little bit spotty. So with this game, your opportunity to get those predictions in, we've been posing this question all throughout the week. Who do you like? SF for the 49ers, DA for the Dallas Cowboys. I'm going to go ahead and type my SF in the chat right now. G-Code, $2 super chat. Aziz is my comparison to Bill Romanowski. That boy can hit. He can hit. He can play a really physical style of football. So too can Dre Greenlaw, who never shies down or backs away from anybody. John Wallace, $2. Everyone type get loud. San Francisco. We'll give it to you and type San Francisco in the chat. San Francisco. Hopefully we're saying that a lot during our watch party on Sunday, and join us for our watch party on Sunday. It's going to be absolutely unbelievable. So we continue to keep it moving here on our 49ers Report mailbag. Make sure you subscribe because we will be going live for our watch party on Sunday. We did 100,000 views in the wild card round against Seattle because the Cowboys have such a big following and because it is such a great non-divisional rivalry game. I believe this watch party could really pop off, and if the Niners win, my goodness, it will be great. So if you haven't subscribed, you ain't alive. Do so right now for content, news, rumors, analysis, all 22, live shows and watch parties coming your way every single day. The 49ers Report, we also have some great sponsors, and it does include Rocket Money. Cancel your unnecessary subscriptions and start saving money today with Rocket Money. Download the app at rocketmoney.com/Niners. Why? Because are you wasting money on subscriptions? Get this, about 80% of people have subscriptions that they forget about. Maybe for you, it's an unused Amazon Prime account or a Hulu account that never gets streamed. This great app I use helps me track all of my expenses, and because of it, I no longer waste money on subscriptions that I don't even use. It's Rocket Money, formerly known as Truebill. It shows you all of your subscriptions in one place and then cancels for you whatever you don't still want. Rocket Money can even find subscriptions you didn't know you were paying for, and you may even find out you've been double charged for a subscription. And to cancel it, all you have to do is press cancel. Rocket Money takes care of the rest. One more time, it's rocketmoney.com/Niners. Get started, optimize your finances, and start saving money ASAP. Ellis 10. $2 super chat. This year's 49ers team could beat 2019 and last year's team. I think they're better too. I think that they're better offensively than they were in 2019 because Brock Purdy, believe it or not, is better than Jimmy Garoppolo. He certainly played like it as well. Offensively, this Niners team in 2019, they didn't have Christian McCaffrey. Brandon Ayuk wasn't on the team. And defensively, they weren't as seasoned and as deep as they are here this year in 2022. So this team, very, very special, Ellis. I agree. Sergeant toasted. Get toasted. No Carthen gone. At least Peters is still here. Yes. So the news coming down on Tuesday that the director of player personnel, Rand Carthen for San Francisco, came to this organization back in 2017, is heading to the Tennessee Titans to be that team's next general manager. Really impressive resume for him. He came here with Adam Peters and John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan back in 2017. He's been a huge part of the Niners' player development, player drafting process. The positive news, because it is a negative, that Rand Carthen is leaving, because he is a minority hire, the 49ers get compensatory picks in 2023 and in 2024 to make up for some of the draft picks that they have lost with the Trey Lance trade and the Christian McCaffrey trade. So those right there, some pluses. May Day, who will be San Francisco's MVP against the Cowgirls? Let me go with the player who's been kind of silent with his sacks over the last couple of weeks. I'm talking about Nick Bosa. Didn't have a sack against Seattle. Had, a sack against Arizona. No sacks against the Raiders the week before that. Nick Bosa, if he could take over this game, yes, he did have that fumble recovery, which was huge against Seattle. A couple of sacks for him. Look out for Bosa. Let's go with him as my MVP. Triple D, why nobody is talking about the Niners' run game against the Cowboys' bad run defense, which ranked 22nd instead of Dak. going up against our defense like he did against Tampa. I talked about it during our preview earlier this week that San Francisco has the best 1-2 punch in the NFL at that running back spot. Can you name a better running back duo right now than Christian McCaffrey as well as Elijah Mitchell? Catching the ball out of the backfield, running the football, they've been excellent. And yes, as I've said, this Cowboys rushing defense can be exposed. John Wallace continues to pour in with the donations. Thank you, my guy. Do we spy Pollard or does our defense play straight up? I think they play straight up. They've always been really good against the run. Javon Kinlaw had a couple of really nice moments in the first round. Kevin Givens, good to see him back. Eric Armstead, really good. Nick Bosa against the run has been good. Maybe the sack numbers haven't been there, but against the ground attack, Bosa's been great, and this linebacking core doesn't often allow guys to get behind them to that second and third level. 63 Hunter, Chase, any Dallas injuries to report from the Monday night game? Jason Peters got banged up. If he can't go, a little bit of a concern if the Cowboys want to go jumbo. Their rookie left tackle, Tyler Smith, has played well this year. Micah Parsons a little bit banged up. He's going to be okay. He's going to give it a go. Good vibes only. Spam those 4 9s in the chat. If you love the San Francisco 49ers and you want to support this football team, type those 4 9s in. Bang, bang, Niner gang. You know the movement. All right. Let's see what the people are saying here. Let's see those 4 9s. Mike Concho, John Wallace, Oliver Leach, 63 Hunter, Baja Clan, Raise Some Hell, Donald Layton. I love it. I love it. 49ers support your show from Jim Everett. Thank you, my guy. Thank you, my guy. Here is our Super Chat menu. We'll stay live for a couple more moments. Not going to keep it going live too long, but our Super Chat menu. $5 will beat the Cowboy. I owe y'all a couple of those with the 5s that came in. How about them Cowboys? How about them Niners? $10, San Francisco. $20, we'll squeeze BCB. And $50, we'll slap a Cowboy fan. So, $50 Super Chat, last call. We'll bring in Cowboys Report host Tom Downey. I'll slap him again with the tortilla. It was loud. It was vicious earlier on. We'll do it again. We ain't scared. Ken Glenn, I still support the channel. Gave y'all a like and sub because I'm a good guy, you know. Ken Glenn. Appreciate it, brother. 2 likes away from 200, by the way, with nearly 500 people watching live. Almost 4,000 people tuning in all throughout the day. Keep your foot on their throats from William. Yes, I agree. All right, 2-minute shot clock is on before we wrap up. Last call for Super Chats. We're not going to extend beyond this, but last call for Super Chats. We'll put the 2 minutes up. 2-minute shot clock is up. Last call for Super Chats, and then we'll sign off right after this. So if you want to donate to the show, we appreciate it. It allows us to build our staff, build new studios, and it allows me to give you videos every single day. Because I'm supposed to be off on Thursday, Friday. Something tells me I'm going to give y'all more content. Johnny! Another 25.
Johnny!
John. Let's go. Beat the Cowboy. We'll give you a BCB. And for the next minute or so, this is what the Niners have to do on Sunday. Put the hard hat on, bring the lunch pail, go to work, and beat down on those Cowboys. John, somebody go half with me. Don't hit them too hard, Chase. We're built different and classy. Okay, there we go. So if somebody goes halves with John, sends in a 25, we bring on Tom Downey again, and we slap the Cowboy fan. Anybody going to go halves with John? We'll reset the shot clock to 2 minutes to try to make that happen. That's our gift to you. After John Wallace sent in a gift to us. Kyle, come to Alaska. I would love to come to Alaska. That's on my bucket list. I'm all about exploring. That'd be awesome. Maybe someday. Honcho! 20. 5 coming up next. Okay. We're 5 away from slapping the Cowboys
fan. Is he gonna have 5 on it?
And how about we do this? We're 20 away from 200. I'll shotgun a beer for 200. We're 20 away. So we're 5 away from a Cowboys slap. And then 20 away from a shotgun. There's Mike. I got 5 on it. All right. Let me message Tom again.
I got 5 on it.
Another slap for Tommy. This tortilla might break, though.
Is it not one of the Chipotle tortillas? Those ones are the best.
This thing was vicious, but it has a little break in the center. There he is. Same tortilla? We'll try it. Yeah, no, you can wear it. Here we go. 15 away from a shotgun, by the way. All right, so the first one was good. There we go.
Probably gonna break in half. Go to one. Did it break?
It kind of did.
Kinda broke.
Yeah, it
Still
broke.
one more. Give it a second one.
All right, let's do it.
If we get another,
Oh,
if we get another,
if we get another one.
we can do it again. Another 50.
Nothing's free.
Nothing's free. 15 away from 200. We get there, I'll shotgun a beer. And then we'll sign off. One minute on the clock. 1 minute on the clock. 15 away from a shotgun. Maximo. Appreciate the IG messages there, Maximo. Ryan Rodriguez. Let's see what he says here. Brady didn't show up to play a playoff game last night, plus the Suck Girls played against a defense that's ass and a mediocre offense. Danny Ramos, here's 5 on it. 10 away.
Got 5 on it.
10 away from a shotty. 10 away from a shotty. I think we're going to get there. Niners country, let's mine. Johnny!
Woo! Woo! Johnny Wallace. Johnny Wallace. Johnny Wallace. 200. Get us there.
Shotgun and another Cowboys slap coming up, and then we'll sign off and call it a day.
Ow!
Niners country, let's mine. Let's mine. I think Tom's going to get one. I messaged in production. He responded back by saying P. Now, yup. We're pushing P here on the show. John Wallace, 200. Get us there. I'm a supporter. I hope for a solid win on Sunday. Need it. We need it. We need this playoff run to continue. We need another win on Sunday. We need another win on Sunday. Let's wish it into existence. Let's pray it into existence. Take a bite of the tortilla. No. I ain't going to do that. Shotgun tortilla slap coming up, and then we'll sign off. Alpha, Bucks, Brady laid down for the NFL. They get their big game, and we'll take it. We'll take it. Tom, I don't want to hurt you again. It's all right.
A fresh Tilla.
Got to the official beer, the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, my gosh. Very well played. Very well played.
Not a sponsor. Good.
Oh!
Contact. That was good.
Better than the first one or not?
First one was still the best.
All right, still the best one.
1, 3, 2.
Let's get it. All right. That was very well played by him. All right. Shoddy for the fam. Then we'll dip out.
Rip it, tip it, and sip it.
Alpha P, no doubt, Chase. No doubt. The chat is hilarious today. See you at the watch party, Chase and Tom. The Passmaster sounds good. Passmaster, I saw you in the Cowboys chat last night. So are you a Cowboys fan, Niners fan, or just a Chat Sports fan? Let us know. All right. Cheers, fam.
Chug, 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 chug. Woo! Control, Alt, Delete that beer.
Corona guy, good slap. Hey, we have fun. Throw that away for me. Trace just called me daddy.
Hey, you know who else is going to be
Hopefully
getting
the
called
Niners
daddy?
are the Cowboys' daddy.
Daddy Bosa is
Daddy
going to be
Bosa.
a daddy this weekend.
Daddy Bosa.
Grade the burp. Grade the burp.
Cowgirls cheerleaders are so cute from William. Yeah, but let's hope that the 49ers are cheering over the Cowboys. All right, we're about to dip out. Thanks, everybody who tuned in today. Hope you liked our preview. It was a long one, but we wanted to inform you about what to expect for this game coming up on Sunday. Watch party on Sunday. We'll be going live an hour before kickoff, so make sure you subscribe and join us. The Pass Master, you're an OG as well. Thomas B., thank you so much. You and everybody else who tuned in. San Francisco. We'll catch you next time. Peace.